Okay, so I got something different for us this week.
Good.
Definitely different tone than last week's insanity.
Yeah.
So I got this. This is a Japanese kids horror movie from 1968, black and white. The Snake Girl and the Silver-Haired Witch.
There's something to be said about this horror movie, especially if it's a kids' horror movie. I would say they felt like the kids could handle much more than they can now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some creepiness in this movie, definitely.
Especially people being thrown off of buildings or stabbed.
Yes.
Snakes getting tossed haphazardly.
Yeah.
So the director of this movie did Gamera movies. So Gamera was like, it was like Godzilla movies, like the giant, what do they call them? The
Giant monster movies.
They have a name for those monsters. The kaiju movies.
Yeah.
His name is Noriaki Yuasa. So somehow he got roped into doing this horror movie, and this is what we got.
Not that he wanted to do it.
I don't know. I don't know. No, I think this is clearly a movie that was made with love. I think.
Want to try something else out besides that. But you could see some of the effects that I guess he had learned from those kaiju movies,
right?
In the dream sequences,
costumes and
the costumes,
snakes,
the house being
I was
on
gonna
fire.
say, the models burning in the background with live action characters.
Yeah. So what's this movie about? This is about this orphan girl. She finds out. She's very excited. Her family, her long lost family, has found her, and she's now going to leave the orphanage. And
Still fucking baffles me. It was like at the setup. It's like, oh yeah, your parents want you.
Yep, they found you.
They found you.
Aren't
they
you
want
happy?
back. Yep.
Here's the doll. Go on and live. And so it's this big mansion. She finds out her dad's a venom expert. He's all about snakes, mostly. Snakes and spiders.
A couple arachnids mixed in there.
There's a couple maids.
Yeah.
But before this, we see right before she gets to this house to move in, one of the maids is in the snake room. And we see these scaled hands grab a snake, launch it at this woman, this cleaning lady.
Snakes go.
The snake wraps around her neck, and she just immediately falls to the ground and
Cardiac arrest.
convulses and bleeds from the mouth. Everybody's freaking out. So as this girl's pulling up to the house, there's a fucking hearse pulling away.
Yeah.
They're like, what's
And
happening?
the dad's like, what happened? Another maid died.
Another maid.
Huh.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, let's go on in, guys.
Well, you want to see your new bedroom?
Yeah.
With all the cool shit in it
Clothes
that I
we
got
got,
for you?
yeah.
Just maids die weekly here. It's nothing to worry about. It's fine.
Yeah. So he'd warned her that his mom had been in a car. Her mom had been in a car wreck and had some memory issues. And when we first see her mom, she is definitely pretty weird.
Yeah.
She's coming down the stairs in her kimono. She calls the girl. I can't remember.
Tamimi.
Yasumi. Yeah,
Tamami.
Tamami.
It's Tamami.
What was the girl's name? The main girl.
Sayumi.
Sayuri.
Sayuri. Yeah.
So the main girl is Sayuri, but she comes down and he calls her Tamimi.
Yeah, Tamimi.
It's always hard to remember Japanese names at first. Tamimi.
Strange.
So,
How did you get such a beautiful face?
Thank you. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Those aren't yours, Patrick.
She'll have cold sticks by the time she gets here.
You don't want them, and they'll be mine. My plan is working out.
so the fuck were we talking about?
Oh, Tamimi.
So the mom mistakes Sayuri for immediately right off the bat is like, how did you get such a beautiful face?
Right.
Yeah,
And she's very confused. But then he's like, her dad's like, no, this is Sayuri. She's like, oh, of course.
Oh,
yeah, of course.
You've got school tomorrow.
Sayuri-chan, you have school. Yeah, go check out your room. Try on some clothes.
Look
whatever.
at it. It's your room.
Maid shows her up to the room, and so let's do these shots real quick. I got to do this shot. Cheers.
Cheers.
So as she gets, the little girl's going. She's probably like 12? I don't know, 11, 12.
Oh, this is like back in the day. She was like 6. 6-year-olds look like.
Is that what
they look
happened?
much more masculine.
Yeah, they're much more older.
Is that what
looking.
happened in
Yeah.
Japan? No, this girl was like 12 years old. I don't know. But yeah, so she's going in a room, and then we start to see there's these holes in the walls and ceiling. Somebody's spying on her, right?
Yeah.
Looking through these holes.
Oh, I thought you meant this crazy person over here. I was
no,
keeping a lookout
no,
for
I'm
her.
just ignoring that. I'm going to ignore all that.
I can't ignore that.
Okay,
I'm
well,
afraid
I'm
what
looking
will
this
happen.
way.
Yes.
I got to focus on trying to piece this movie together. So there's somebody watching her, obviously.
Yes.
She wakes up in the night, she sees her mom go into the little family shrine, and she's leaving out food for the Buddha statue.
Yeah, she's bringing out scraps to this room.
Yeah. And she sees a face behind the thing.
Yeah.
And she freaks out. She sees that the food's gone. She goes back to bed. A fucking snake drops on her while she tries to sleep.
Wakes up. I'm scared of this shit.
Yeah.
We wake everybody up in this house.
And then she sees what appears to be a girl with a snake face in her room.
That scene was kind of
Snake
cool
jaw.
to me,
Yeah.
even though it was like a sideways shot, which in hindsight you'd be like, why didn't we notice this body laying there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just stands
Yeah.
up in this
But
creepy
yeah,
way.
she comes back in her room, goes to bed, lights go out, and then just behind the bed stands up, starts
That was a good
creeping
scene,
to the
yeah.
turns and looks at her, and she runs in and says, she's like, Mom, I saw a fucking monster. She's like, oh, did you? Okay, come with me.
Yeah. Let me show you this.
Was it this? And introduces her to her older sister.
By the way, she's been living in the attic.
Yeah, we just keep her in the attic because she's grotesquely deformed.
Yeah, she's got a terrible face. Just keep her up there.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it's this. So we have this setup. The younger girl, the older girl is pushed off into the attic as as an outcast.
Yes. Having a grotesque face.
She has a face that has melted because it got bitten by a venomous snake. Those are yours, by the way.
They're really good.
The kitchen's gonna close, so
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah,
all,
yes, all of that is yours down there.
Because she was jealous of another girl back in the day,
Yeah.
which we found this out
Yes.
later from the nun that gave her away to
know
the
all
parents
this information, but doesn't disclose it at any point whatsoever.
until after the fact.
Yeah, the nun knew all about this girl. That had,
Yeah, they had this daughter. She was kind of a bitch.
She's
and
kind
like
of
these
weird.
pretty
Was
girls.
into like snakes and arachnids. Really into snakes as a younger girl. So that's how we find out she gets deformed. Was that she was on a field trip, grabs a snake just off the ground, puts it into the face of the pretty. What did they say? Academically gifted, pretty girl.
yeah, that is what they say. It's a very Japanese way to put it.
The snake just turns around and bites her because it's like, the snake doesn't like
knows.
spiteful women.
Yeah.
And snake bites her, somehow deforms her face.
But then, but the thing is, though, Sayuri keeps she sees her with like scales on her back and
Yes.
shit. Which I don't think now she actually ever
had it.
It's hard to say what was actually being seen or not, right? Because if we go to these dream sequences, but then there are also these scenes where she's just saying stuff and she sees like scales on her back.
A lot of it is like trying to comprehend, I guess, through a child's eyes.
Right. And I like that ambiguity of what
What's
is
real.
actually happening and what is just.
Because at one point, the first night when she meets her sister, and because this was one of the things we mentioned is that this little girl is just incredibly positive throughout all these experiences. She's like, no, let's kick it with my sister. Let's share a bed.
Yeah, let's get out of this attic.
Yeah, come on, get out of the attic.
No, please. I will then go and lock me in the attic.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
care. Yeah,
It's fine.
my
I'll go into
sister's
this
deformed.
satanic attic
Yeah.
and filled
But
with
she
spiders.
finds like real scales in her bed.
That's right. That is a
Finds
good
real
point.
scales in her bed. Takes it to the biology club.
Yeah.
Japanese lab coat wearing man confirms it's scales. By God, it's real scales.
It's 8 fish.
Yeah,
Where'd
these
you find
ain't.
these?
Where'd you find these? Oh, by the way, we got this toad from the swamp.
Where'd you find this? It's hibernation season.
It's hibernate. This Toad ought to be sleeping right now. What's he doing?
These dumb toads.
Stupid ass
In
Toad.
these swamps.
There's this great. She has this one dream sequence where she's like, she has this little doll that the guy from the orphanage gave her,
Yeah.
and she's in her bed, and the doll comes to life, and it's actually this woman. And she's like, "We have to go tell your dad." Oh yeah, her dad ran off to Africa. We forgot.
Immediately
Yeah, we
after
forgot.
bringing her
Yeah,
home.
the same
We completely
day.
forgot that part.
Yeah. He's like, oh, let me get to this call.
They found the last
Yeah.
special snake in the world, and you have to go.
It's my last snake that I gotta research.
This will
and I'm
solve
done.
everything.
I am done for life. I can retire.
Yeah.
No more snakes.
No more snakes.
So he's
Stay
in
with your
Africa.
crazy mom for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Your mom will abuse you because your older sister says to, is basically what's going on. And the maid is all about it too.
Yeah.
So, but her doll gets up and they're like in this like tunnel thing. And she's like, we need to go to Africa and tell your dad about what's going on. And she's
Imagine
like-
you're a bird and fly.
Yeah, and so there's this like weird scene. It looked like something
They're
from
just
Star
floating,
Trek where
yeah.
they're like, whoa. And they're flying through this tunnel that looks like a dryer tube.
Yeah.
They're flying through this thing. And then they what happens? They get
Oh,
attacked.
they run into the sister.
Yeah,
But
this
she's like puppet form.
it's snake puppet
Yeah.
form sister that's throwing snakes, swords, spears at her or whatever. Launching these things.
Kills the doll person. That's like a real person.
Remind me
at
of the
this
Yeah.
name of this movie and what is this called?
point. It is
Snake girl and the
Snake
white hair
Girl and
witch.
the
Okay,
silver-
so we're like a
silver-haired
little bit
witch.
over halfway through this movie
Silver haired witch.
and not seeing the silver hair witch
Right.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, there is basically
Yeah.
we won't go through every single scene,
Right,
but
yeah.
the idea is she keeps seeing this snake shit happening with her older sister. She's freaking out. Her sister starts torturing her, takes her room, locks her in the attic, starts
Wearing her clothes.
fucking puts a snake in a giant vat of acid and says, "I'll do that to you too."
Oh, she was talking about venom.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll throw a snake at you, and then just puts a snake in the ass.
She's like, "I want to ruin your face and make you uglier than me."
Yeah,
and
it just
saying all this
arbitrarily
shit.
throws the fucking. This'll look if the bones will be gone if I leave it in there too much longer.
She's just a total bitch.
You know, you can
Yeah,
run.
she's just all fucked up and evil. She's got this wax face because she puts this thing over her face to hide her scar. And,
Yeah.
but see, that's the interesting part because it makes you think she's got a fucking snake face under there.
Yeah,
she
that's what I
does.
thought
That's
the
what-
entire movie.
But she
yeah.
doesn't. She just has this scar
Yeah,
on
it's
her
just
face.
like this. Not like honestly, like could just be what's that? Rosacea. Could just be rosacea.
Could be vitiligo.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
be any old skin
be any of
deformity.
Could be any of those things.
And she's just completely just gone nuts because of it.
Yeah,
You know, I don't understand entirely Japanese culture, so. You
nobody does.
Deformity of the face. It's not pretty.
know,
Get her out of here.
Yeah, get her out. She's socially
Yeah.
outcast.
But when she's locked in the attic, we finally see the silver hair. I keep saying white haired, silver haired witch.
Yes.
It is white in the fucking movie.
It is. But
Because it's black and white, maybe,
Right.
that's why. But which is like this like demon face, long hair, and she's like doing things at her through the window, and then she gets
Detaching
attacked
her
by
arms.
100 fucking
Yeah.
tarantulas. She has a dream where her fucking hairy arms
Flying
grab her by the throat.
Just
Yeah.
detached.
And she runs away, and the arms go, detached from the witch, and then they're they like float up and grab her. That's pretty good. I like that, like goofy kind of cheesy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she tries to crawl out the window, and the witch cuts the.
Cuts the road.
Cuts the rope.
She falls down, almost falls on the train tracks,
Yeah.
almost dies there because the train runs right underneath her window
Yeah.
of this house.
Girl's like, I gotta go back to the orphanage. It ain't safe here. Call my orphan brother.
But we got to shorten this up. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
say we figure out the white-haired witch is the maid.
Yes.
The maid is this fucking psycho that wants
The money.
the snake girl all to herself and is trying to kill everybody else. She tries to burn she gets her to burn the house down with the girl and her
Orphanage
brother from the orphanage. They're tied up. They set it on fire.
Yeah.
She runs out to the construction site next door.
Yes. And so little Sayuri.
Sayuri, yeah.
She's got like hands, like stone hands. She's the true stone hands. She's hanging off.
Like
a
I
little
said,
balcony thing.
like Stallone from Cliffhanger,
Yeah.
just death grip. She's hanging on this thing.
Oh,
That
yeah,
maid
so
is
witches
just bashing that
beating the
girl's
shit out of
hands
her.
in.
Piece
Yeah,
of lumber.
still holding
They're
on.
just bloody.
Yeah.
And they're just
I like the scene where she falls down. It's just like a body.
ragdoll
Ragdoll fall
thing
down.
falls down halfway, but she lands on a scaffold. But
She should
okay,
have died.
we do have, yeah, probably. But we have our redemption moment.
Yeah.
The snake girl, the older sister, finally decides maybe I don't want to murder my entire family.
Yeah. Let's
And
be nice for once.
Yeah. So she fights the crazy maid, and they both end up falling from the window of the construction site. But this is the funny moment where the body of the snake girl, the mom is down there with the.
She goes, ah! And
She's
she
like-
swats her away.
You see the dummy falling on, and she's like, she catches it. It's like, ugh. And throws her body over there.
And then she wakes up and has her memory back.
Yeah, it's that scene where like the girl, our main girl, yes, Sayuri, is with the mom, and they're like, they've had their moment. They're hugging it out. Oh, I remember when I lost you, when you were born, and all this stuff. And then she's like, "What happened to Tamimi?" And then immediately the fucking doctor and nurse is like right
dead.
behind her. She's like, "She died immediately on impact." You're just like,
I've been waiting here all fucking
yeah.
day and
He's
night
like
for
he
you
was
to
standing
wake up.
behind the bed for her to wake up to tell her.
Boom.
Yeah, she died.
Bedside manner.
As soon as she fell, it was instant.
Instantaneous.
And then there's this nice scene where they're at her grave, and she's like, "I'm gonna live for my sister. She saved me, and I love her so much." And
And the
it's
sister
not what
just
matters
smiles.
on the outside, but is having a
Right.
pure soul.
I'm gonna
on the
live.
inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna live for. The beauty is on the inside. That's what I learned. That was the message of the movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great kids movie.
It is. It's a good kids movie that will scare the fuck out of your kids.
Right.
Probably it'll disturb them.
Scare them into being
I hope
less
they take away,
superficial.
don't be an asshole. That's
Don't
what
kill
I
your
took
sister. Don't throw snakes that turn into swords.
Don't detach your arms.
Don't
your
detach
hairy
your
arms.
away. Yeah, don't get too close with the maid.
No.
Maid's up to no good.
Maid's up to no good.
Yeah.
She's in it for the money.
That maid with crazy eyes. Don't trust her.
Don't trust her.
Don't
Mhm.
trust her.
We're
There you go.
getting into
Yeah, let's go to scores.
scores.
Let's go to you guys first. I'll hear what you guys.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I actually enjoyed this 60s movie.
Yeah, it's rare for Patrick to enjoy. A 60s
Yeah,
movie.
60s to 70s. There's not many movies like I like, but this 60 movies was actually pretty good. I like some of the effects in it. The bitchiness of Tamimi.
You enjoyed her bitchiness.
Yeah, some parts of it, and then just the kind of like what's real, what's not real.
Yeah.
And we didn't go over it, but like one of them, which I guess was a dream sequence, whenever Zuri seen Tamimi leave the house to go to the swamp. And then parents leave. They're like, okay, here's the key.
Oh yeah.
And then she gets attacked from behind from her sister and like bit with a
right.
snake bite. But then she wakes up.
She just wakes up on the floor.
No bites, nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
what does that
yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
weird. It is a weird scene where you still don't really know exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
So like what's really happening, what's not really happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool thing. They didn't overdo it. Most movies overdo it now, and you're still like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it a 4.
I actually want to give this movie a 5. To start along the same vein of what Patrick was talking about, one of the scenes where Sayuri is being attacked by a giant snake, and she puts a sword through its neck, and then
Oh,
it
yeah,
turns
that
into
battle.
her sister.
Yeah. I thought
Um,
maybe she'd really kill her. Like that would be awesome. But
Yeah, that'd be
no, it didn't.
badass.
It didn't actually happen.
Dream
but it was cool.
sequence.
You see her
Um,
sitting there, laying there with the sword right through her fucking head, her neck. Yeah.
I also really enjoyed just kind of the scenery of the movie. I mean, y'all heard me talking about that, but I kind of just liked the house, all the cars.
I seen you getting Chubb over there with the
It was
motorcycle
nice.
Chubb's
driving.
about cars and
motorcycles, cars, like to be a middle class Japanese person in 1968. Smoking cigarettes in the house. Gotta go to Africa.
Drinking like a fish every single
Yes.
day with all your corporate buddies.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
Slide into my Datsun and just get on out of here.
Yeah.
I also, watching these kind of older movies, I try to keep in perspective that at the time this was like some high budget stuff. If you went to the movies to watch this movie, like this is the peak of
That
potentially,
snake, that giant snake puppet.
Right.
or sliding through the dryer tube where you can tell they're on like wires or whatever, and you got like just air passing through fluttery silk curtains or something like that. If you're watching that at that time, you're not seeing Avengers Endgame or whatever. Like, that is what the height of technology is. So, it looks corny to us in retrospect. I think at the time it probably would have been a lot like, oh, hell. This is a hell of a dream. That doll just turned into a person. That snake lady is not a snake lady, or it is. I don't know. This is also this is the first day I've ever heard of the child horror genre.
Child horror genre.
I mean, there's like scary movies for kids.
Yeah, like Ernest Scared Stupid.
You got Goosebumps and shit like that.
Yeah.
I felt like if
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I was watching it with my son
Yeah.
versus like the regular stuff that my son
Would you watch
watches.
this with your son?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son can't really read all that good, so the subtitles aren't going to do a whole lot for him.
Okay.
I'd have to watch the
that would
dub
be an issue.
with him.
I don't think there's a dub. I don't think so. Not an error video is probably not.
Give it like 2 years, and my son can read pretty decently.
Okay.
I'm watching this movie with him. I'm borrowing this. We're watching it together.
Okay. Well,
and
you
he's
let me
learning
know.
not to be so superficial.
Yeah.
Love that girl for what's on the inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't worry
what's
about
on the
her face.
outside is gonna fuck you up. But no, I liked it was I thought it was well written. I thought the cinematography was pretty good, especially for the time. It was an easy movie to follow, and like these movies, and I don't mean to get long-winded
Go
with
ahead.
it,
Sorry.
but these movies don't seem to like hang on to like the suspense. Like, they do kind of seem to be like more realistic in the sense that like people are figuring out what's going on pretty quickly. Like, they're not like, what? It's like, my sister must be a snake. She left scales in my bed. She's got some fangs, and she's eating toads.
Yeah.
She's hyper obsessed with this toad that I brought home from school. Like,
Yeah.
it seems pretty straight, but like they're not leaning on you just being like, oh my god, what's happening along with the character. They're not tricking you into thinking it's some big suspenseful, like, oh, maybe it's an M. Night Shyamalan style
God
ending.
forbid.
Well, it's not going to be one of these.
It's not the trees killing people, making them kill them. The plants.
So the characters are realistic in the sense that they're coming to natural conclusions that you as an individual might, and the ending is you're not like, okay, I figured it out, I'm done. You're like, well, what's going on here? You're watching it all the way through.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of between a 4 and a 5 on it. I don't do half scores. I try not to, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 5. I really like this movie. I like the pace. It's just good storytelling. It's got the right. It's got a. You look at it through the lens of a kid's horror movie. I think it's really well written. It's got the right amount of creepiness. It's not super gory and shit. I mean, there is a sword through a
It's
neck.
like a touch of blood.
There's a
when the maid
toad
gets-
being ripped in half.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
thrown
She
at her
does rip a
face.
toe. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I thought she was going to eat that toad. I thought she
That
was
would
just
have
going
been
to.
sweet.
I did too. But yeah, I thought it was really good, and I'm glad that another random pick that I had not watched previously ended up being good. And it's just like when you watch. I've watched quite a few of these older Japanese movies now, and the thing they always focus on is like actually telling the story and building this stuff out. And we haven't hit all the beats on this story at all, but you find out it's this fucking crazy maid that's influencing this girl and using her
Insecurities.
Using her shit about what happened to her to try to take her away from her family.
To get the money.
And she wants to fucking kill her family. She's just fucking insane.
Vin Diesel would like this movie.
I don't think he would. 'cause
No,
it's
he wouldn't.
anti-family.
No, he would, because it's about family.
Well, at the end,
Exactly.
but Vin Diesel isn't doing all that against the family.
It's about family. Tamimi
Vin Diesel, if you're
decided
watching,
it was about family.
go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and hit in the comments down below what you think about this movie. I'm sorry, Nathan, go on.
I like Vin Diesel a lot as an actor, but apparently everybody fucking hates that dude. Have you heard about like,
Oh
how he
yeah, the
sucks on-
director left from Fast and
people
Furious.
just don't want to fucking deal with him?
no, they
He's
don't.
just
Yeah,
like a fucking prima donna dick.
he is.
Well,
It's
working
about
a Fast and the Furious movie at this point must be just like a 9 to 5. Like, yeah,
Well, listen, when
walking
you-
in to,
When you've been Riddick, when
Yeah.
you have been that much of a badass, as
Straight up.
Riddick, you know what?
Yeah. And you were Xander Cage. You died as Xander Cage and then came back. He just
Riddick-
said, forget this.
Riddick-
You didn't die.
All right, there you
Yeah.
go. The snake,
Oh,
the snake girl and the silver-haired witch. That's the movie. Everybody should watch it. Check it out.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want
Check
to
it
watch
out.
a black and white
where did
old
you
ass.
get it? Nathan?
Arrow
This is
Video.
Arrow Video release. There's no other place you can watch this. I don't think in the U.S.
There's no streaming platform, no nothing. They just have to buy the DVD.
There
on-
may be. I think Arrow does a streaming service now. Just look
yeah.
it up.
Yeah,
You'll
look it
you'll
up.
find
You'll
it.
find the places.
Worst case, you'll have to buy it to watch it. Remember, Nathan had not
Don't
Nathan.
remember.
Nick.
Don't remember.
Nick has the contest. 300 subscribers. We are 20 away at the
Are
moment.
we at 280 subscribers?
We've made a huge jump.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, honestly, 20 subscribers. Nathan gets to hit me wherever he wants, how hard he wants.
Once we hit 300,
300 subscribers, yeah.
I
Whenever
think
that
we're at
happens.
280. I don't remember.
Well, we'll check.
Anyways, we'll double check it. I remember we were getting close. 300 subscribers.
Damn, yeah.
Chef's choice.
Chef's choice.
Yeah, chef choice. I'm gonna.
Except the face.
Nick's gonna feel the pain.
Yeah.
Did I say except the face?
Yes, you
Thank
did.
God. Thank God. Cool. Feel the pain of unrestricted.
I hope this was recording the whole time. If it's not, somebody's gonna die. And
I
it
hit
ain't gonna be
record.
me.
I hit record.
She says she nods yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
And now shut it
Now
down.
we're good.
Shut it down.